Hey guys, it's Matt with 86. I've been looking forward to making this one. Xgimi nudged me and asked me if I'd be willing to share my thoughts, so yes, they sent this to me, but my opinions are my own and that is important to me and they know it. At the end of projector videos, I usually do some bonus side-by-side shots and some light and dark environments, and some still shots to kind of give you an idea of the actual room ambience. If you're mainly and solely interested in seeing this, check this displayed timestamp right here. But I'd recommend coming back here to find out some of the impressive stuff about the Horizon Ultra that we're going to cover. For your reference though, this video, as well as the end bonus content, is using a 92-inch 1.3 gain ALR screen. This is the Horizon Ultra, the flagship standard cast projector of Xgimi. In the box, we get the info packet and user manual, as well as some warranty cards and a Netflix setup guide, a hefty power brick and DC cable, a remote, 2 AAA batteries for the remote, and the Horizon Ultra itself. Someone somewhere put a lot of thought into the design from multiple angles. Horizon Ultra has a clean late 70s kind of meets modern vibe that is as much a work of art as it is a projector. Kudos to who designed such a nice looking piece of hardware that just breaks the mold of what we think a projector should look like. When I asked about the design, they replied and shared their philosophy that great product design must serve the people, which shines with Horizon Ultra in its capabilities, functionality, and aesthetic qualities. A prime and immediate example I can think of is the cloth-covered dust filter that automatically slides when it's powered on or off. It both looks great and serves a purpose. Beyond that, we have things like Nappa leather that surrounds the entire chassis, giving it a really soft feel, and the accented and almost but not quite rose gold silver that traces the Ultra's entire body. I'm making myself drool again, let's move on. Horizon Ultra is every bit the pride of Xgimi that it should be. It's a 4K 3840 by 2160 60Hz UHD DLP cast projector measured in a very bright 2300 ISO lumen rating. It features things like HDR10 and Dolby Vision, which is enhanced by the dual laser and LED lighting combo, as well as some very neat mechanical implementations that really lift it high in its performance. With Dolby Vision and HDR10, if you've ever played with these features on a projector, or even just dynamic contrast range for that matter, it can be a fickle experience to find a happy place with. But I found that when it comes to the Ultra, not so much. If you're unfamiliar with Dolby Vision, or if you've never tried Dolby Vision, it is an experience, and to put it plainly, a good one. Anyone can just watch a movie, but if you want to elevate that game, Dolby Vision being available in the Horizon Ultra is what makes this projector so top shelf for cinephiles looking for that something extra. Dolby Vision is showing up everywhere and offered on most streaming services like Disney+, Apple TV, and Amazon Prime. And to touch back on why Dolby Vision seems to be so well executed here, it has almost everything to do with how Xgimi utilizes the dual laser and LED light source that I mentioned. They have a lot of words to describe and explain it, but in my layman, end-user, non-engineering terms, I just go, yeah, it's definitely pretty. I can see that. I don't need math and science to know that something's pretty. Xgimi outfitted Horizon Ultra with a dynamic filter for consistent color gamut, but most importantly, a variable iris tech that can adjust intensity and contrast on the fly in a seemingly seamless way. Horizon Ultra weighs in at roughly 11.5 pounds, which is also roughly 5.2 kilograms, and can be mounted via a single 1/4-inch thread mount on the bottom. On the back, Ultra has 2 HDMI 2.1s. One is an eARC HDMI 2.1. Next, 2 USB Type-A's, and this can be used for either media or power delivery devices such as a streaming stick, like a Fire Stick. There's an Ethernet port, and optical if that's your cup of tea, and also a 3.5mm aux jack. Alternately, the projector employs Bluetooth 5.2 and can broadcast out to compatible external speakers this way. Or you can connect direct to the Horizon Ultra and broadcast to its built-in sound system, which we'll talk about next. It's not often we hear good stock sound from a cast projector, and most people likely already have existing systems and will utilize something like the mentioned eARC, or other external speakers for that matter. So it's often a moot point for great sound to be natively present, and instead of taking the cheap route, Horizon Ultra features twin 12-watt Harman Kardon built-in speakers, which sound great and can get loud. I'll do my best to share this experience with you by recording them for you to listen to playback on, but just remind yourself it's recorded audio played back over your own device, so take it with a grain of salt. I'm going to be using Liquid's Birthday for this one. He's a fantastic artist. While we're on the topic of noise, I'll attempt to record the projector fans under load. It's an extremely quiet and efficient projector with cooling, and very difficult to even hear it while standing next to it. I'll include a decibel meter for visual reference. Setting up the Horizon Ultra is an absolute dream. It has everything you could want for and from it, with auto keystone and focus to an impressive optical zoom range, stacked with a digital zoom range on top of that. Lightboxing shrinks with the zoom instead of persisting while you zoom, and I love that. It really helps to minimize the undesirable lightbox effect that could occur otherwise. The impressive range of zoom opens up the placement possibilities of Horizon Ultra more than anything I have looked at in the past. Beyond manual features, Horizon Ultra supports ISA 3, which is Intelligent Screen Adaptation. When the setting is on ISA, it can use smart scanning to move an image from obstacles on its own, like a picture on the wall. It can do all this while maintaining a level image. If you have a variety of screen on the wall, like a fixed frame screen, ISA 3 can detect that, scan that, and project to it automatically within reason. I think it's a really cool feature, but manual setup is easy enough on its own, and I prefer to feel somewhat in control of my setup. As the Horizon Ultra is a smart projector, it's fitted with the latest standard Wi-Fi 6AX, and necessary to log into it to unlock the best features of the Android TV that's baked in. From an end-user hardware perspective, it's a very fluid and smooth experience, rivaling that of an Nvidia Shield itself. It displays beautiful images when watching it. In different lighting, it still manages to look great. Like all consumer projectors though, the darker the better, but I can't argue with what Horizon Ultra can achieve in a dim or even moderate or even fully lit room. As an end user, you have access to built-in stock modes and simple color temperatures, all the way to the advanced controls to tune your picture perfectly for you. And all changes you make are live on the screen as you make them. Though I will say, out of the box, its stock settings are pretty much where I am content. It didn't require any immediate adjustments for me for when I got it out of the box to start sharing these images with you. Essentially, this is exactly how it comes. If you think any of this that you see now looks good, much like with the Aura that I looked at, I can assure you it's even better experienced in person. If you're like me, you are interested in more than just the watching experience and probably have some curiosity with how it does with things like gaming, and surprisingly, it's very nice. I believe the initial hope was for it to be able to achieve even higher refresh rates than it can, but Horizon Ultra at its 60Hz refresh rate seems to do just fine with gaming. Whether you're at 1080p, 1440p, 2160p, it is a 60Hz experience. Trust me, I checked to see if I could turn it up any, I couldn't. Just set it into game mode and expect about 18 milliseconds gray to gray response time, which does result in some mild ghosting, but until reviewing still images for it, it was not impactful in any way, nor did I even notice it while playing. On a black crush test, I can see easily all the way up to box 3, which is a good thing, and I've come to expect this kind of goodness out of Xgimi. This makes darker games like Arkham Knight easy to play this on. Everything I witnessed shows that it can be a good companion for your console or PC gaming experience. Who doesn't want a game on the big screen after all? Lastly, that brings us to the years-long progress and refinement of the Xgimi remote. I feel like a parent who has watched this remote grow up over the years. While identical almost entirely to the Aura's remote except for a slightly different silver hue, it's changed a little bit over the years. Starting at the top and working our way down, we have the power button, menu button, settings button, the Google Assistant button, and a round D-pad with a select button in the middle. Below that we have a back button, a menu button, and a home button, which will take you back to the Android TV that's baked into it, the device up and down volume buttons, and an on-the-fly adjust button at the very bottom. A notable perk is this remote can auto-pair and be used with devices like Fire TV sticks, very much how the Nvidia Shield could do the same. If you flip the remote over down on the very bottom, there's a trigger mechanism to release the battery housing for changing the batteries easily, and the whole remote has transformed from the plasticky early editions of the yesteryears to a solid quality feeling, robust metal that is both simpler and more high-end feeling. I hope this was somewhat helpful and useful to you, and don't forget, if you are interested in those extra shots and videos that I took, they'll pop up after I'm finished talking here. You have a great day, night, whatever it is, and I'll see you in the next videos that I do.